nice and solid. And next part, we're going to have to stain it, and then we'll use these little strips as slats that will go across. These will be cut to 3 foot to go across. Add a nice touch to it, and we're going to seal it all the way around this time, and then I'll seal those, cut them up and seal them, and then this should be ready to be mounted in a couple of days. Okay, we've got a couple of sections, and you see this little triangle shape here. That's a connector between the two spans, and we've made that one already. And we got the forms here where we're going to be making a new one. And that's, I got the pieces laid out, so we'll be assembling those shortly. Okay, now we're ready for final mock-up. Here's the large span, and there's the little connector that's at an angle, 10-degree angle, to the smaller span. And we've already got the smaller fan fastened with the connector here to the medium-sized span. And it's pretty lengthy, can't fit the whole thing in the garage. So we're just going to push these two together to get an idea of what it looks like when we've got the whole thing together. Okay, there it is. A little twist to it. With a spacer. Angle, and from the other end, looking out to the street. And what we're going to do in the next phase is chop these 6-foot 1x4s in half and use them to go back and forth across all the way to give it some aesthetic appeal. Okay, I've marked a bunch of these 1x4s to length, and we're going to chop up a few here. You get the idea. Okay, we've cut, about 40 something of these pieces, and they're going to be used to go across kind of like that all the way along, give you some footing on the bridge. And we did that with probably my favorite tool, my chop saw, because that thing just kicks ass. Next phase is we'll be staining all these guys with some wood finish, and we'll do it all around before we assemble it, so that all 4 sides and everything of each piece here is gonna be waterproofed, and that way there everything is covered. So there's our large span, the 2 smaller spans, we got our slats that are going to go across, and we're all ready, but we're going to go to bed now. Alright, I've been staining up my planks here. and kind of ran out of room, so I started mounting the dry ones on the bridge, and in a second we'll show you how that's done. Okay, what I do is I use one of the spare ones as a spacer, and I set it here, and take one of the finished ones, put it there, snug it up, and drill myself a pilot hole. On each side. And fasten it in with my drywall screw. And move on to the next one. Okay, I'm taking apart the old structure. You can see what it looks like underneath, not real fancy. I needed help when I was doing this, and this little guy decided to come along, give me some help. Where did he go? There we go. In case you, I'm not going to reach down there and turn him over, but trust me, there's a red hourglass on this guy's stomach. I should say her stomach. And we get some egg sacs there. So I kind of expected to see something like that. Some critters when I flip this thing over. Well, the hard part's over with though. Okay, the garage mock-up is done. And we've put our first coat of stain on. We did that individually. We're going to do a second coat of stain now that the mock-up is all together. And here's what we look like. Little zigzag 10-degree angles there. Actually 20 degrees, 10 degrees in each cut. And that's going to span the pond. Total length is probably around 17, 18 feet. And I think it came out pretty good. One word of caution when working on a project: try not to leave your Coke too close to the saw when you're working, because you go to drink that big drink of Coke when you're thirsty, and that whole film of sawdust that ended up on the top of it goes down your throat. At least I got my fiber for the month, so we're good on that. Another look. Time to clean up, do a little vacuuming, do a final coat of stain, and we'll have this puppy in place tomorrow. Okay, bridge is now complete and in place. Very nice cosmetic upgrade to Delicia Springs. Did have a casualty though. Busted up some of my lights when I was installing late last night. But those can easily be repaired. Now time for a relaxing afternoon.